Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mr. J, and today I'm going to be showing you guys this brand new AP Temporal Blade Trickster build that I just crafted the other day. This build, as you saw from the footage before, hits extremely hard at its current level, which is about 3 or 4 points lower than the average that I'm supposed to be. So my cap is about 59, and I'm about a 55 to a 57 in that range. And even when I join my friends' games, they're on Apocalypse tier 26, and the enemies there, like the final boss, is like a 64, and I can still handle myself. I can still hit them really, really hard for being as underleveled as I actually am. So you can only imagine what this would do when you're on level, when you have all the proper gear and all the proper mods, because I don't even have all the proper mods. I have a couple mods in here I would love to switch out that I'm just not taking advantage of. So when you have a fully optimized kit of gear here, I'm sure you could probably hit around 100 million on these super hard, like these massive crits against bosses. But before we jump into the build, if you guys are new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button. That would mean a lot to me if you guys did do that. That way you don't miss out on any future Outriders builds that I make in the future. If you do enjoy this video, go ahead and leave a like on it by hitting the little thumbs up button down there. And if you don't want to miss out on any of those future videos I just talked about, then go ahead and click the little bell notification button as well. On top of that, I do stream all the time on Twitch. If you guys want to go to the description and find my Twitch link, we'd love to have you over there, hang out with the community, and just be awesome. We're going to play Outriders a bunch, so thanks for hanging out. You guys are freaking awesome. So with all that being said and done, let's go ahead and look at the build. Alright, so this is currently the equipment that we've got going on. We look freaking awesome. We've got about 500,000 anomaly power just sitting here. My average gear score is about a 57, as you can see there, out of 59, so I'm not exactly right where I should be. If I were to get higher level weapons, then we would be good to go, but my weapons are lacking behind my armor. They're a 59. But yeah, this build has been proven to be able to handle almost 9 or 10 levels above it. I joined a friend's game and at an average of 55 before I had actually upgraded my armor, fighting a level 64 final boss of the trial, and I was still hitting him for, like, as you saw in the video, I was hitting him for like anywhere between 30 and 83 million damage for some of these slices. So you can imagine how hard this build could actually hit for, and how amazing it can be when you have all of your mods perfectly optimized and perfectly rolled, plus your gear average would be, you know, on level. Like, you could hit for some crazy numbers with this build. Like, it's already showing huge potential. So this is my new build. This is the one that we're going to be rolling with so far. I will continue to make new builds for Trickster, so if you guys are enjoying the Trickster stuff like that, again, go ahead and subscribe. If you guys want to watch other builds for other classes, I will probably be making more for like Techno and Devastator and stuff like that as well. Maybe some Pyro stuff. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the actual pieces here. So again, we've got the Daimyo on here with crit damage, skill life leech, and close range damage. I chose this gun. You don't need this gun. I chose it because it has Ultimate Storm Whip on there and Gravedigger's Frenzy, so it's got a kind of good roll on there. And then you got to slap Mage's Rage on there, which you get that one from, I think it's called Final Penance. It's a double gun. This mod, Mage's Rage, will basically stack 40% of your anomaly power, and it's total anomaly power. So if you get your anomaly power up to like 1 million, it'll just add 40% of that. So you're at 1.4 million after that. It will just exponentially increase your anomaly power in this build. It's incredible. So a lot of this really isn't necessary because we don't use our guns. So for our other gun, we have the Heir to the Desert. This one I got rolled with Sandstorm and Ultimate Storm Whip on there, and then I modded Firestorm on there. So now all I have to shoot is one bullet, and I get Sandstorm, Firestorm, and Ultimate Storm Whip. I get all of the storms with this one gun. Like, this one gun, if I go dink on the head, I get all of it. It's awesome, but it's not needed. Our guns aren't really huge for damage. It's more the mods on there, and it's more of our Temporal Blade that's our huge damage number here. Just like when you play a shotgun Trickster with firepower, your twisted rounds are going to be like 90% of your damage. So then, our pistol does not matter. I never use it. If you use your pistol, then have fun. Customize it however you want. I don't use a pistol for this build currently. If I update it and I add things to this to make a pistol actually viable, I will let you guys know, and I'll make an updated video on that. But as of right now, I do not use pistols in this game. I never have. So really for this build, all you're going to be needing is just a gun with Mage's Rage on here. You don't really need to have anything specific. You can use whatever gun you want. You can use like the Amber Vault. You can use the Funeral Pyre. I was trying out different guns with Mage's Rage to see how it actually would work with this build, and it all worked out pretty well. Pretty much all you need is just a gun that you can reliably hit critical shots on. You can kind of play around with this as you will. Alright, so now for the armor part of this, let me go ahead and take off all of my transmog modifications on these gear pieces, so that way you can actually see what the icons look like and what the actual pieces of gear look like, so if you're trying to farm for these pieces, you'll know what they look like better. Alright, so this is what the armor looks like here, without all of my transmogs on there. So for the helmet, we're using the Goggles of the Edge of Time. So this set for the helmet, the chest, the pants, and I believe even the gloves, we are running Anomaly Power, Cooldown Reduction, and Skill Life Leech. This is a really good combination to use. You can do other combinations of attributes, but this is the one that I like a lot because Skill Life Leech specifically is super helpful for just staying alive. Tricksters are extra squishy, and especially after a lot of these mods got nerfed in Worldslayer, it feels like everything hits really, really hard and hurts a lot. So having that skill life leech, especially when we're using our skills so much, means that just every time you damage something with Temporal Blade, you're actually going to be healing. So for the first mod, it comes with double slice on here, so that way Temporal Blade will actually damage people twice. The first time will be the main damage, and then the second time will be dealing 50% of that damage. So if you deal 1 million on the first hit, the second hit will come back for 500,000. Then you have Cut Loose, so you reduce the cooldown of that skill by 20%. And then I got lucky and I got Stand Tall, which isn't the best mod, but it's not a bad mod. It at least does buff our Anomaly Power just a little bit, so not bad for that. This is going to be the one part about all these pieces here for your armor and your weapons that's going to come down to RNG. If you have really good RNG, if you have really good luck, you're going to get really lucky and get some really good third mod slots on your gear, and it's going to come in a lot of handy because then you're going to be able to stack more damage and more cooldowns, more everything else like that into your build. So that's going to be the tough part, is getting luck on your side. For the chest plate, again, we've got the Anomaly Power, Cooldown Reduction, Skill Life Leech, and the dead mod on here is Rebound. I don't use Cyclone Slice. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm just focusing on Temporal Blade. So I don't use Rebound at all, but we do have self-medication on there, so that way we increase our health by 10% whenever we put a skill on its cooldown. So whenever we use a skill and it goes on cooldown, it will stack up to 3 times, and each stack will last for 5 seconds. So you get a pretty big health bonus by using this one mod, which allows you to be a little bit tanky. You can swap this off if you just want more damage or more utility from like Venator's Knife or whatever else you want to put on there. And then, of course, I got lucky with Captain Hunter, which, again, is just part of the whole luck thing, so I got a really good mod on this chest plate. The pants that we're using are the Anomaly Power, Cooldown Reduction, Skill Life Leech Purple. They are just random purples. So that just goes to show that, once again, in this current meta, you're pretty much going to only want 3 legendaries and 2 purples to maximize your build. Because it looks like a lot of the gloves and a lot of the boots, as you can see here, have max health. Same with the gloves, a lot of them have max health. So you're going to want head, chest, and pants to be the legendary set, and then you want your gloves and your boots to be purple. So I'm going to eventually have purple gloves and purple boots with the Edge of Time pants. So the mod that I put on there is Slasher, so that way we can add another usage to our Temporal Blade. We can use it twice before it goes on cooldown. Another dead mod that we have on here is Head of the Ward, so whenever I'm playing with people, if I revive them, they get their full health whenever I revive them. Not the greatest mod. It's nice for co-op play, but I really would want something else. And then again, I got lucky with Strong Slice, so it increases our Temporal Blade's damage by 316,000 damage. The damage will scale per level of the gear it's on. So if my pants were level 60, it'd be higher, 61, 62, whatever it is, it will be higher. Alright, so now for the gloves, we have another pair of purples here, with, again, the Anomaly Power, Cooldown Reduction, Skill Life Leech. This one, we put Arms and Anomaly on there for the critical shots, increasing our Anomaly Power by 142,000, which is insane. That's a huge boost, huge boost. We also have Fresh Mag, so it increases our Anomaly Power by 47,000 for 5 seconds after reloading. And again, I got lucky, and I got Aura Force on here for the critical shots, granting us 47,000 anomaly power to me and my allies for 5 seconds. So these gloves are really good. Again, you want to stack as many anomaly power mods as you can on here, and all of the other mods you are wanting to do is like Temporal Blade, Vendor's Knife, or like Hunt the Prey, things like that. So for the mods, we're using Temporal Armor. So basically, it'll boost your armor by 8% for each affected enemy, and it'll last for 6 seconds, attacks up to 4. So if you just hit 4 enemies with your Temporal Blade, you're getting a huge boost to your actual armor, which is again a huge boost to your survivability. Not the greatest mod if you're just looking for damage, but it does help to stay alive. Then we're rocking Power Assimilation, which boosts your anomaly power by 45,000 for each elite present on the battlefield. This one is a great one. It stacks up to hundreds of thousands in some of these areas. Because basically every single alpha counts. Every single crawler counts. Like destroyers count, warlords also count to this too. So there's a lot of elites in some of these newer areas that can hugely benefit your anomaly power because of this one mod. So then in the third mod slot, we've got Paragon, so each ally in close range receives 116,000 points of armor. Again, not a great mod, but eventually I will be swapping this out for purple boots that are better. But overall, if you get something like this is exactly what I'm running here. This is exactly what got me the damage numbers in the prior parts of the video. It's awesome. It's fantastic. Alright, now we're going to breeze through its other stuff, which is just our skills. So we're using Temporal Blade here, which does a base damage of 754,000 damage and inflicts slow and interrupts all targets that gets hit by it. So then we're using Vendor's Knife, which allows you to mark all of these targets, 5 targets individually. It does a little bit of damage to all of them, and the cool part about it is that all the marked enemies will actually receive double damage for the first bit of damage they take. So if you throw out your knife and hit him with the Temporal Blade, that first slice will be double damage. Super good utility here for just pure damage. And then we're of course using Hunt the Prey because the mobility factor of this skill is incredible. You can also put mods on here to where any enemy that you teleport behind will be inflicted with a vulnerable or like do a certain number of damage or whatever. This is another good utility mod. And once they end up actually fixing the teleport, right now it's kind of broken, it's not super reliable, but once they end up fixing it again, the teleport will be an amazing tool to get out of any sticky situations. Alright, so now we're going to go look at the class setup. So this is my Trickster skill tree right here. We are just pure anomaly power down here. We're getting every single anomaly power node all the way through here. We're also going to the end cap here, so that way every enemy in close range will increase our anomaly power because we're constantly in close range with them. We're getting more anomaly power when our damage skills end, which is all the time because we're constantly using Temporal Blade. We are getting more anomaly power whenever we activate movement skills, which is also why we're using Hunt the Prey. And we're getting more anomaly power whenever we actually use one of our deception skills like Vendor's Knife. So we're constantly getting way more anomaly power every time we use anything. So basically, if you want to maximize your damage output, you're going to want to teleport to the enemy with Hunt the Prey, use Vendor's Knife, and then Temporal Blade them for maximum damage. And then, of course, you just want to be kind of passively shooting bosses or enemies in the head, getting those critical hits, so that way you can buff your anomaly power and just keep stacking anomaly powers as high as you possibly can go. With this build, I've actually seen my anomaly power go as high as like 3.3 million, I think, at one point. It was crazy. You can get super high anomaly power with this one here. So now for the PAX tree. So the PAX tree is fairly simple. We're just getting the increase to our damage whenever we have a skill on cooldown. So it's 15% for each skill on cooldown, which we can have a lot on cooldown. And then, which is also why you want to have all 3 of your skills. You want to Hunt the Prey, Vendor's Knife, and then Temporal Blade twice. So that way when your Temporal Blades do go off, you have 45% extra damage behind it. On top of that, we are choosing to go for the Deception skills grant you 15% shield every 1 second for 4 seconds because this allows us to survive a little bit longer. You can opt for the cheap shot up here to reduce the enemy's armor and resistance. This will allow your Temporal Blade to do more damage because it's lowering their resistance. But I choose to survive just a little bit longer just so I can kind of worry less about the damage I'm taking. So then we've also got Failsafe Protocol, which again is a tanky one, so when your health drops below 30%, you get 50% shield, 20% damage mitigation for 3 seconds, and they can trigger every 10 seconds. On top of that, this is some of the stuff that's making us hit super hard, is Goals Beyond Understanding. So damage done to elite enemies that are tagged with your Vendor's Knife or Deception skills in general, if you want to use like Time Rift or Slow Trap, they have a 25% chance to be increased by 200%. So on some of those clips, you'll see that I throw my Vendor's Knife at them, and I hit him with one Temporal Blade, and I hit like 47 million, 50 million, 72 million on an elite because of this skill. It's a 25% chance to triple your damage. And then the next one we are using is Meticulous Schemer. This one, as a disclaimer, is very finicky. It does not work all the time. It is very weird. It is very bugged right now, but it does seem to be kind of working. I don't know if it 100% works for the anomaly build that we're doing, but I decided it was better to put it on, and if it works, then yay. If it doesn't, then if you choose not to use it, you can always put your other point up here to damaged, so that way damaging enemies with your damage skills will increase your damage by 10% for 5 seconds. Or you could just put your other skill here into Cheap Shot, so you get both the shield and Cheap Shot at the same time until they fix Meticulous Schemer. Either way. So pretty much the reason we're doing so much crazy damage is because Goals Beyond Understanding and Meticulous Schemer have insane damage output when you combine the two, or even if you just get one to proc. You know, I have seen upwards, like if you stack your anomaly power super high and then you hit the Temporal Blade with all of your buffs active, you can easily hit for like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 million, and then you get it times 3, and that's where you get those like 60 million hits because you have everything activated at the same time. These two alone, especially once Meticulous Schemer gets fixed, will make Trickster huge damage with these two combined. So then for the Ascension level tree here, we have 10 points in Anomaly Power, 10 points in Resistance Piercing, so that way we can actually pierce an enemy's resistance, and our anomaly damage will do more. We've also got 10 points into Anomaly damage here, and we've got 9 points in a cooldown reduction, and I will be maxing that out at 10. If you want to know what other skills to go for, I'm going to go for the Elite bonus damage here, possibly the crit damage bonus there. So that's basically everything there is to this build. It's incredibly versatile. You can kind of swap out mods as you want. If you want to use Cyclone Slice instead of Temporal Blade, you can just go for mods for Cyclone Slice, which they already come with some anyway. On top of that, the attributes you get on your armor, if you don't want skill life leech, if you want something else like just healing receives, so that way your class heal can be a little bit more efficient. Whatever it is, you can kind of swap it out and play around a little bit with it. This build is very versatile with it. So all in all, this build is incredible. The damage output is showing huge potential, especially if you are more on level with the actual the gear average you're supposed to be. My max is 59, and I'm only at 57, and even with the footage that you saw earlier, most of that footage was when I was at 55 average for gear, so you can do some crazy damage with this build. But that will go ahead and do it for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you guys did really enjoy this video, if this does help you out with some kind of a good Trickster build, there's not a lot of these going around. No one's playing Trickster. The meta is still Technomancer, Pyromancer, and now Devastator. Those are the three that people are playing. So hopefully this gives you something to look forward to, something to kind of build towards. That's an actual worthwhile endgame build. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much for being here. If you guys do want to come hang out on Twitch, the link will be in the description down below. We'd love to have you over there. If you guys are new to the channel, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe, and the bell notification button as well, so you don't miss out on any future videos from me. And on top of that, we do have the Patreon link down below if you guys want to go the extra step and support me on a monthly basis for as little as $5 a month. You get a bunch of cool perks over there, a bunch of awesome stuff, and it would mean a lot to me. Same with the merch store. The merch link will also be in the description down below as well, if you guys want to go buy some cool, awesome Mr. J merch for stickers and things like that as well. But that will go ahead and do it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.